One of the most confusing things about retirement is this. You can have a large account balance, you can be doing everything right, and still feel surprisingly uneasy about your retirement. And that feeling isn't irrational. Most of the time, it's a signal that something important is missing from the plan. Today, I want to explain why a big retirement balance doesn't automatically mean safety, and why income matters far more than most people realize once they retire. Most people are taught to think about retirement almost entirely in terms of how much they've saved. If the number is big enough, the assumption is, I should be okay. And during your working years, that logic mostly works. You're contributing regularly, you're not withdrawing. Time and compounding are doing most of the heavy lifting. But retirement changes the rules. Once you stop earning a paycheck, your portfolio stops being a scorecard and starts becoming a system that has to produce income on time in real life. That's the shift most retirement plans never fully make. Here's the problem with relying too heavily on an account balance. An account balance tells you how much you have, but it does not tell you how much reliable income you can generate. It doesn't tell you how exposed you are to market timing. It doesn't tell you what happens if the markets decline early in retirement. And it doesn't tell you which dollars are meant to be spent versus which dollars are meant to be protected. Two people can have the exact same retirement balance and experience very different levels of confidence and stability. Because in retirement, what matters most isn't the number on the statement, it's how that money is structured and how it's assessed. Let me give you a simple example. Let's imagine two retirees. Both have saved $1.2 million. On paper, they look identical, but their experience in retirement is very different. The first retiree has their money organized with intention. They have a portion set aside for near-term spending. They have a portion designed to generate reliable income. And they have a portion invested for long-term growth. They know where their next year's income is coming from. They know which dollars are exposed to market risk. And they know which dollars are not meant to be touched for a long time. Markets still go up, markets still go down. Volatility still exists, but it doesn't immediately threaten their lifestyle. Now, the second retiree has $1.2 million as well, but it's essentially one large pool of money. There's no clear income structure, no defined roles for different dollars or different purposes. When the market is up, everything is fine. When the market is down, every withdrawal feels stressful. They start asking questions like, am I pulling from the wrong place? Should I be spending less? Is this sustainable? Same balance, very different experience. And the real difference between those two retirees is not intelligence, it's not discipline, and it's not how hard they worked. The difference is clarity around income. In retirement, safety doesn't come from how big your account is. It comes from knowing how much income your plan can support, knowing where that income comes from, and knowing which dollars are doing which job. That's why so many retirees with large balances still feel uneasy. They have assets, but they don't yet have a system. This is exactly why structure matters so much in retirement. When each dollar has a specific role, spending becomes more intentional. Market volatility becomes more manageable, and decisions tend to feel calmer instead of reactive. The goal isn't to eliminate market risk. The goal is to make sure risk shows up in the right places at the right times. Once income is clearly defined, the balance becomes less emotional and the plan becomes far more durable. If retirement still feels fragile, even though you've saved well, that doesn't mean you failed. Most of the times, it simply means the plan hasn't fully shifted from accumulation to income yet. In retirement, confidence doesn't come from a statement balance. It comes from knowing your income is structured to support real life through good markets and bad ones. That's the difference between having money and having a retirement that actually works.